What is happening, guys? Literally, I don't know. Please tell me. I am your host, your excellence, your majesty, the one, the only, Jay. I don't know. Yeah. I like the build up to that, but then just the J pumping out. I got to add on the 2006. And welcome back. We got another episode of Friday Night Fight Talk this week. Episode 12. I know I said that last week, but I was being an idiot when I was recording that. So we got, this weekend we got another Apex card. Going back to my roots. Good thing that thing's closing soon. That actually just got its main event announced, the final Apex event. Main event, Neil Magny versus Carlos Prates. I did not expect that as a main event. Anyways, yeah, we got that. We got the Apex card. Got some Q&A, and then I want to discuss a little bit the Verdict tournament, the Immortal tournament. I know my opponent's probably listening to this, so I just want to say good luck. You could kick my ass, I could kick yours. We'll get into why you're probably gonna win later. So actually, yeah, and I'm giving away my picks too. If you somehow don't know about the tournament, on Verdict, the MMA app, we're having a tournament. And I won the last round against Max Holloway fan. I was surprised because on the prelims, motherfucker got a submission on Court McGee. I wouldn't have picked Court McGee to submit anyone in my lifetime. And motherfucker did it. I got super scared, but I did not know it was prelims only. Or, sorry, main card only. Anyways. Oh yeah, that's another thing. So much is happening this week. FNFT, as I'm recording this episode, is hopefully going to be on Verdict. Hopefully I can upload it to Twitter perfectly. If not, they'll have to wait till the YouTube video update comes out. But if you're listening to this on Verdict, fucking welcome. This is FNFT. This is my podcast. It's pretty nice. I like it. I eat on here a lot. I eat a lot of food. I'm like DC. But yeah, welcome. So, unless I'm forgetting anything, let's get into the picks this week. So, first bout. Sorry, I'm still eating. We got Clayton Carpenter versus Lucas Rocha. Both these guys are kind of, there's not a lot of flyweights of them. There's not that many of them. Like, one guy is at least, like, one ranked opponent win away. Rocha is debuting. I want to say he might have been on the Contender Series, but I forget. His picture on the UFC website has that little gray Contender Series stain, so I'm not sure. But Clayton Carpenter has had one fight. He's undefeated, but Rocha has much more fights. So Rocha's a bit of a decisionator. I mean, I can't really say that considering his finish. His one fight in the UFC was a finish. And basically, he's got 3 wins by decision. He's got 4 finishes first round out of his 7 wins. So he's half and half. He's a bit of a decisionator, a bit of a finisher. And then we got Lucas Rocha over here. He's 17-1. Finishing a lot of people, but the competition isn't really that steep coming out of him. So I am going to say, let's go with Clayton Carpenter by decision. I think it's going to be a little closer because Rocha, he's good, and Clayton Carpenter's good as well. But the competition that Rocha's been facing isn't UFC competition quite yet, and what I've seen from Clayton Carpenter is that he's finishing people. So far, I know he's only had the one fight, but he's finishing people in the first round. As much as I think that Rocha is probably durable enough, I think it'll be close. I'm talking like 29-28 for Carpenter here, but we're going to go with that. We're going to say Clayton Carpenter, 29-28, close decision. Now, we got Dan Argueta versus Cody Haddon. Cody Haddon's coming off the Contender Series. Now, I forget where Dan over here came from. I don't think Dan's been in here for a bit. He had a fight against Miles Johns last year. Yeah, last year. He lost that by decision. And then he had a no contest not that long ago, I believe. I think it was a no contest. So yeah, he's not been too hot. I believe he had when was his last fight? Anyways, I think he's coming off a loss still, so he's on a bit of a losing streak here. Cody Haddon, he's coming off the Contender Series. He looked good on the Contender Series. Just the thing with the Contender Series is you got to remember, Torres Finney can get 3 finish wins in the middleweight division when he should probably be fighting at like 170 or 155. You got to remember the competition's a little less steep in the Contender Series. That being said, I am going to pick Cody Haddon by another decision here. All of his wins have come by finish. I think he's probably going to get his first decision here coming into the UFC. And Dan over here, he's not looking too hot. He's coming off 2 losses. Now, granted, they're not up against like the worst bantamweights. Like Miles Johns is pretty good. But he hasn't been great for a bit. Like since September of last year, he hasn't been that good. So I'm going to say he's probably going to lose this one. I'm going to say it by decision, though. This could be another close one. All right. Now, if you're a first-time listener here, especially since this should be on verdict, unless I'm just spewing lies at this point. You know, I don't really care about women's fights, is a fun fact. Unless they're like, especially unranked women's fights. That's my big thing. So what we usually do is usually flip a head, or not flip a head. We flip a coin. We get heads, we get tails. Heads is red corner, tails is blue corner. So we got Julia Polastri versus Corey McKenna, women's strawweight. Let's flip the coin here. Let's see. All right, we're picking heads. We're picking heads by decision. We're picking Julia Polastri by decision. Yeah, that's usually how women's fights go around here. Sorry if you're a real fan of women's fights, but I prefer to watch Island Perez and Mackenzie Dern fight only. They should put a BMF tournament together for that. Next up, man, am I sad about this fight. Oh, I'm so sad. We got Junior Tafa versus Sean Sheriff. Oh my God. I wanted Chris Barnett to fight so bad. Really, I did. Like, first up, he was booked against Waldo Cortez Acosta, and that made me scared. Because Waldo Cortez Acosta would 100% beat him, without a doubt in my mind. Waldo Cortez Acosta is pretty good. Then Cortez Acosta pulls out. We get Junior Tafa in there. Odds get even better. Junior Tafa is a bit of a bum. And then this fucker, Hurricane Milton, comes through. Kills Barnett's house. He's got to pull out. Man, that makes me sad. This is his 4th canceled fight in a row. He hasn't fought since 2022, was it? Like, man, that's almost a Conor McGregor layoff. Or a Stipe layoff. Anyways. So, Sean Sheriff, he's debuting. Biggie Boy. 4-0, he's undefeated. Versus Junior Tafa. Junior Tafa, if you don't know, they're part of the Tafa brothers. He's a little bit of a bum. I'm not gonna lie. He kind of sucks. I'll be completely honest. So Junior Tafa lost to Muhammad Usman. If you know how Muhammad Usman's looking right now, it's not looking too hot. The only guy he has beat in the UFC is the man, the myth, the legend, fucking Parker Porter. Alright? So he's almost got a losing record here. But all his wins are coming by KO. I'm going to say Sean Sheriff is probably going to win by KO in the second, maybe. It's probably going to be, I'm going to say it's similar to the DeLima fight that he had on 298. He's probably just going to get fucked in the first round and then get KO'd in the second. Yeah, really not looking good for the guy here. Yeah. I think he's just kind of sucks. That's just me. Sorry, Aussie fans. And sorry that I'm eating again. I'm hungry. Usually like that all the time. Next up, we're at a welterweight. We got Themba Gorimbo versus Nico Price. I'm not going to lie, this is a sleeper fight. I think this fight's actually going to be pretty good. I know Nico Price isn't known for putting on fucking bangers, especially at 302. Nico Price versus Alex Morono. Oh my God. That is like potential worst fight of the year. But if you don't know, this guy's on the prelims, and he came out with the win against Alex Morono. Now, as to why he is on the prelims, I'm not sure. Maybe because he lost to Robbie Lawler. He lost to Phil Rowe. Did I say Ross? Like, he's lost to basically everyone at the high level. He's looking just to sit around the unranked welterweight area. Yeah, I mean, he's not terrible, but he's really not that good either. Themba Gorimbo is going on a fucking tear. He's won his last 3. One of them was a 30-second KO. I believe it was 30 seconds. He's really just kind of on a hot streak here. I'm going to say Themba Gorimbo wins by decision. I know Nico Price is getting KO'd by old Robbie Lawler and Phil Rowe, all them. But I believe that Themba isn't... He's not like a finishing machine. It's not like he's finishing everybody. I know he does have... I believe he has a majority finishes. No, he's majority decisions. But I believe he'll probably just outstrike him the whole fight and get like a pretty dominant decision, I'll say. Yeah, let's go with that. I don't know why I'm acting so inconfident. It's not like I don't have these fucking written down. Maybe I'm just doubting myself. Next up, we got Jonathan Pierce versus Pat Sabini, featherweight. This is a close one between the two of them. Jonathan Pierce is very slightly the favorite. He's got a decent record here. He is coming off a couple losses, though. He beat Darren Elkins. Pound for pound worst tattoo in the UFC. That's probably his best win, I would say. He's coming off 2 losses. And then we got Pat Sabini over here. Pat Sabini, if I'm remembering him for being the right person, I believe it's the guy Diego Lopez fought on 295, I believe. I believe he got KO'd like super fucking fast. And he hasn't fought since. So both these guys are coming off losses, but Pat Sabini fought Diego Lopez. We look at that division now. Diego Lopez is at the top. I know Pat Sabini's always been on and off, but whenever it comes up, whenever he comes up against someone good, that's usually only when he loses. I'm gonna say Pat Sabini is probably gonna edge out a decision here. I know we're going off fucking decisions. That's usually how Apex events go. I mainly think he's going to grapple most of the fight. I think he's going to try and grapple. I believe he'll hold him the whole time mostly. Could be pretty boring. It could be an Andre Petrosky kind of situation. Yeah, he's probably going to hold him for most of the fight. He'll probably win a pretty good decision. It's close, though. I can see it going either way. Next up, capping off the prelims, we got CJ Vergara versus Ramazan Temirov. Flyweight. Ramazan... I believe he's debuting, if I'm not wrong, from Uzbekistan. We have a lot of Uzbekistan guys coming up. I just realized. We got Ruzaboyev. Oh, man, that fight got canceled. I forgot. The Ruzaboyev on 308 card got canceled. And we got, I don't know why I was about to say CJ Vergara. We got Bogdan Guskov, stuff like that. Uzbekistanis are up on the rise. But we got Vergara here. He's like on and off. He loses to, like, the really good fighters, like, in the division. Like, he loses to people like Tatsuro Taira, I mean, obviously. Asu Almabayev, I believe, was his last fight. I think he lost that. I don't see why he wouldn't. That's why Almabayev's in the rankings. But he's not terrible. Ramazan I haven't seen much of. I believe he has, like, a bit of finishes. Like half finishes. So a lot of people are going with Ramazan or Temirov. I don't know what the fuck his name is. Fucking Russian. Russian names get me. I know he's not Russian, but like Magomed Magomedov, that shit gets me. And when you mix up the letters, ooh. But yeah. I'll say let's go with Ramazan Temirov by... Both of these guys are strikers. I'm going to say a third round KO. Has he ever been finished? Yeah, no, he's been finished against Taira. He's never been KO'd. But we've never seen Ramazan before either. So I'm going to say he brings like an unprecedented amount of power in this fucking flyweight bout. And just fucking chins him in the third. Don't worry, I can make these outruley picks before the main card. Because the main card's where it matters here. Because the tournament is where I get fucked over. Alright, so, opening up the card. By the way, I think this is crazy this is opening up the card. we got Daniel Rodriguez versus Alex Morono. So Alex Morono's coming off that loss to Nico Price. Crazy. By the way, while Daniel Rodriguez is coming off the loss to Kelvin Gastelum, not a bad fight to lose. Not to mention, it was actually kind of a close fight, at least in my opinion. And he also fought Ian Gary, Neil Magny. Really just hasn't showed that he's been able to compete at the top level, or at least of the welterweight division, like the rankings. I know he fought Ian Gary, like Ian Gary, me, he's undefeated. Ian Gary's all right. Neil Magny, though, that's a bad loss. You don't want to lose to Neil Magny. Not only that, you don't want to get finished by Neil Magny. I know Canada's best fighter got fucking flatlined by Neil Magny, but Jesus Christ, he's not up there. You don't want to get in the rankings if you're losing to Neil Magny, especially since he's about to be out against Carlos Prates. That being said, I'm gonna say Daniel Rodriguez gets a decision. Alex Morono's kind of a bum. He's at welterweight and he's kind of still got a little bit of a belly. So yeah. Yeah, also Morono lost to, who was it? Buckley not that long ago, and I know he fought Court McGee, but I forget who won that one. I want to say Alex won that one. That being said, Alex Morono's a bum at welterweight. I'm going to say Daniel Rodriguez beats him in a confident decision. Next up, I believe we have the biggest betting favorite on the card. We got Grant Dawson versus Rafa Garcia. Sorry, I'm trying to side text at the same time here. We got Grant Dawson versus Rafa Garcia. Sorry about that. Grant Dawson, you probably know him. He was in the rankings not that long ago. I don't think it was that long ago. Grant Dawson was in the rankings. And he's only got 2 losses, and one of them was to Bobby Green or King Green. Yeah, he was in the rankings last year. I think Grant Dawson is probably like one of the best unranked lightweights. Rafa Garcia, his best win is Clay Guida. So that says a lot. He's lost to people like Drakkar Klose, and beating Clay Guida doesn't say much. I'm going to say Grant Dawson probably fucking KOs him in the first round. I know that's weird to say, especially since Grant Dawson, he's not known for KOing, I guess. He's more known for submissions, but I'm going to say that he probably KOs him. I know that's weird to say. A Grant Dawson KO does not happen too often. But I think he's going to out-grapple him in just about every aspect. Motherfucker coming off Clay Guida over a year and a half ago. It's not going to age very well. I think Grant Dawson's just going to fucking demolish him in the first. Whether it's a KO, whether it's a submission, I think he's done for. Next up, we got Chidi Nojukani. I don't know. Generic name here. Versus Jared Gooden. So, wait, I swear to God, I thought Darren Elkins was on this card. That must be the next week one. I'm stupid. I know I just brought that up. So Jared Gooden, he can't really secure a win streak. Like he goes like lose 2, win 1. That's a perfect record of how he's looking in the UFC. He'll lose 2, and then he'll win 1, and then he'll lose 2, and then he'll win 1. So, bit of a bum. Kind of. And we got, I still can't say his name, who's gone on a little bit of a losing streak before this, but then he managed to pick up a win, when was it, March? He lost to, Mikhail, Oleg Jacek, Generic Dagestani, Robocop. So, he's losing to good competition rather than, fucking what's-his-face. Why am I blanking on Jared Gooden. Jared Gooden's losing to not the best unranked people. I will say he lost to Randy Brown. That's probably his best-looking loss, especially since Randy Brown's probably about to break into the rankings. But anyways, I'm going with Chidi Nojukani by decision. This is a really decision-heavy card, I'm not going to lie. I don't sense a lot of finishes here. But yeah, both these guys, they're not doing so hot right now. But what I've seen from Chidi in the past, I feel a little better or more confident picking him than I do over Jared Gooden. Next up, co-main. We got Brad Tavares versus Jung Young Park. This was booked. Was this on the first episode of FNFT? I think this was on the Lemos versus Jandaroba card, if I'm not wrong. I believe this was booked for the co-main and it got canceled. So Jung Young Park was the one who canceled it last time. I believe he got sick. But he has been on. He was on a really good streak. Like, he'll win like 3 fights, 4 fights, and then he'll come up against some good competition and he'll lose, but then he'll pick up another win streak again. Brad Tavares was in the rankings, I believe. If I'm not stupid, he fought DDD, or why am I saying DDD? DDP or DDP, if I'm not wrong. I could be fucking stupid there too. No, he didn't. Or he did. So yeah, he was in there a bit ago, but he ended up losing to people like Bruno Silva, middleweight Bruno Silva, not flyweight. He managed to beat Chris Weidman not that long ago, I think. And then he fought RoboCop and got his ass handed to him on a silver platter. So I'm gonna say Brad Tavares edges out a decision. I know it sounds weird, considering Park is on. He lost his last fight by split, but other than that, he's been finishing people. Like he's a bit of a grappler, so he's been submitting people left and right in the UFC so far. From what we've seen in the UFC, he's got a few knockouts too. But Brad Tavares has been around for a while. I think he's more well-rounded. I think he's gonna edge the decision. Next up, the main event. The 2 ranked fighters on this entire card. We got Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro Taira. So we got Brandon Royval, number 1 contender at flyweight. Has came up short against Pantoja twice, but did beat Marino in February on short notice. That being a split decision is fucking hilarious, because when Bruce Buffer announces who wins, it seems really confusing for the ref when he yells out Brandon. Is that just me? Anyways, Brandon, he's really good, well-rounded. Got really good striking, got really good grappling. All around, deserves to be number 1 contender. Deserved to deny the Kaya Sakura fight. And Tatsuro Taira, undefeated, up on the rise. Really good grappling, really good all around. His last win was a freak injury against Alex Perez. To think that we also could have seen Alex Perez versus Brandon Royval is fucking crazy. But both these guys are well-rounded. Both these guys are really good. And Tatsuro Taira is an up-and-comer. He's a young up-and-comer. That being said, I think Raw Dog is going to fucking brutalize him for 5 rounds, I'm going to say. I think Raw Dog probably takes him to a confident decision over the course of 5 rounds. I don't think he'll finish him. I don't think it'll turn out like the Nicolau fight where he fucking shoots a knee or a takedown Oh, hold on, but gotta sneeze. I don't know how loud that's going to sound. But I think he's going to use all his skills, and he'll outclass him over the course of all 5 rounds. I think it'll be a pretty confident decision. I know that sounds crazy considering Tatsuro Taira is really well-rounded. His grappling's really good. But yeah, I think Raw Dog's going to fucking demolish him. And, yeah, alright. So let's look here. So we got... Picks are all done. I don't know why I am just like on acid or some shit today. What is going on with my head? Got all the picks done. Let's move on to some Q&A. Starting out, we got 3 pieces question as per usual. My DC impression's getting pretty good. I know. I know I was wrong picking Khalil to win by KO, but I hope they could see why I thought he had a great chance. Has anyone else taken the first 2 rounds on Alex before? And how about his statement afterwards? Talk about class, not a whiner like Jamal. Yeah, I gotta say, Khalil did way better than I thought. And I'm a big Muay Thai guy. I was hoping, like, I would be happy if either of them won. But Khalil did have a lot of heart. He had so much heart. I'm very surprised. Jamal is out here in the crowd, whining. He's yawning. And Khalil's out here, took 2 rounds off Alex, actually was beating him to a decision. Or at least they were tied on the scorecards if that 4th round had finished. And yeah, I've always thought Khalil stood a chance. I know I was picking him by round 2 KO, but I did feel like this was going to be a bit of a Steve Urseg scenario where the random unranked or the random low ranked guy in the division gets a title shot, and he actually does pretty good. And let's see. And the co-main, I wouldn't say delivered, but somehow kept me awake. Actually, I will say that kept me surprisingly awake. I was expecting to fucking snooze. I still took my piss break. But I thought I was going to, like, fall asleep, like, entirely. And, oh my God, that was, like, robbery of the century. I really thought, honest to God, that Rafael Pennington won that fight. Is that just me? Am I the only one? Not to mention, judges all around that night were horrible. Horrible. I thought Carla Esparza won. What's another one I thought that won? I'm trying to think back. I thought Carla Esparza won. I thought Jose Aldo won. Who else won? Let's see. I did think Alexander Hernandez won. I'll say that. Yeah, okay, that's it there. But still. Oh, and the reffing. Oh my God. The Cesar Almeida, Ihor Potieria fight. Like 5 eye pokes. And as soon as he gets into the clinch, come on, work. Come on. Break. Oh my God. It was 5 seconds in. Like, Jesus. Terrible. Now, what else? Let's see. This week, do you think Abdul Razak Al Hassan is going to come out like a rabid animal again? Wait, what? Am I just being stupid? Abdul Razak. What the Oh, fuck. I really am being fucking dumb. Yeah, I think so. I believe he'll try to deliver in it just about any way possible. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck I didn't think of that. Jesus, I am stupid. How do you think Polyana Viana versus Corey McKenna fight plays out? Yeah, don't care either, just because I know how much you love the cat scraps. Yeah, I don't really give 2 flying fucks. I think we already did the coin flip for that fight, if I'm not wrong. Wait, did we? Oh, yeah, we did. Although I think Polyana Viana pulled out of that one. If she was ever booked again, honestly, I wouldn't know. Royval versus Taira is going to be great. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be pretty good. Definitely fight of the night. And I do think Taira's going to lose his O. 100%. Without a doubt in my mind. I know I feel like I sound like Chael Sonnen and DC had a baby. I'm fucking eating and being overconfident about, like, a poor choice. I will say, if I get Royval wrong, that'll probably cost me the tournament. Okay, and then we got Ange, I don't know. Alright, we got his GOAT list here, because we had mine last week, so we're going to read his. So we got number 1 Jones, 2 GSP, 3 Volk. Ooh, fuck. Hear me out. Who did DJ lose to? Cejudo, Cruz, and others. Who did Volk lose to? Makhachev, Future Goat, and Topuria. Future Goat. Every single one of Volk's settled defenses were harder than every single one of DJ's. I do agree with that. Volk definitely had the caliber of title defenses. DJ, it's more the skill for him. If he was like 20 pounds heavier, tell me that people would not be saying that he was number 1. The reason people have DJ at 3 is because of the competition. He already probably is the greatest of all time, skill-wise. Skill-wise, he probably is. Just, he's like fucking 5'3" and had to fight at flyweight, which they were literally considering just axing that division. Which, I mean, now they aren't, but I do believe that, especially in the time as well, there was less competition. But I don't know about Volk at 3. I say Volk 5. I know that's already a hot take to begin with. Anyways, let's see. The only fights I'm excited for are Barnett Tafa, and Garimbo Price. Why did Barnett Tafa have to get fucking canceled? Why'd they have to can that fight? Oh my god. I like Garimbo and Price, and I like Royval and Taira, but that's about it. I think this card's pretty terrible. Grant Dawson versus Rafa Garcia will be good. Daniel Rodriguez, Alex Morono will be good if Alex Morono actually decides to fucking fight. And once you make this episode, 307 would have happened. So give us a run through of what's up about it. Holy fuck, the reffing was terrible. That was my main thing. The reffing was terrible. The fights were okay. Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista. I actually liked Mario Bautista before. I liked that Ricky Simone fight too. And that fucker blew it. He blew it. He is in my bottom 3 like UFC fighters now. Like, I hate this guy now. Terrible. I'm really pissed about Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. That's a freak fucking injury. That fight should be rebooked. Nothing that Roman did actually fucking did anything. And Wonderboy versus Buckley was fucking depressing. That was sad to see that. I didn't want to see Wonderboy like that. OSP getting cut is sad. But also the reffing was atrocious. Yeah. That's that. I think that's all our questions. We got 3 minutes to spare till the end of this episode. So, yeah, what do I talk about here? What do I talk about? I don't really know. That's fun. Oh, actually, 308. I want to say, I think 308 is still a really good card. Really good card. But I'm worried that more people are going to pull out. Don't get me wrong. It's a really good card. But we got a co-main event that we're relying on Hamzat to show up. He still has 3 weeks to pull out. What is stopping him? Or 2 weeks now, I guess. What is stopping the man? Like, I have a feeling he's going to pull out. We're probably going to get a fucking random new co-main. Not to mention hoping that none of the other fights fall out, because we already lost Renat Fakhriniyov versus Nursultan Ruzaboyev. So I'm just hoping this one stays together. But still a really good fight card. The Edmonton one is actually shaping up to be pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually pretty impressed. What Dana's done here for it's a solid fight night card, honestly. But although this is like also pay-per-view quality for Canada, like if we got a pay-per-view here, it would probably be like this. Fucking poor main event. Well, actually, this ain't a bad event. I mean, good main event, like a decent main event. Women's co-main, like a high-level women's co-main that nobody gives a shit about. And that's about it. I know we have a really good feature about this time. We got Derek Lewis and Yonata Denise. I was surprised we got Derek Lewis to begin with. But yeah. Oh my god. And UFC Apex 100 to send off the Apex? Tell me this shouldn't have been Sean Strickland. Tell me this shouldn't have been Sean Strickland. The Apex King coming back to claim his throne. Making the fucking title run in the Apex. You could put Raquel Pennington on here. Everyone who had a title run in the Apex, put him in here. But yeah, 309, all that is looking like all right. The main card's gonna be a little questionable because remember we got Bo Nickel on the card. You already know he's going on the main card. Bo Nickel and Paul Craig being on the main card is crazy. Surprisingly, I don't think Nikita Krylov or Azamat Murzakanov is gonna be on the main card. But Chris Weidman and Eric Anders is gonna be. And potentially Vivan Araujo versus Karine Silva. I pray not. But fights like Jonathan Martinez, Marcus McGee, Nikita Krylov, Azamat Murzakanov, they should probably be on the main card, and they're probably not going to be, is the weird part. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I hope you liked it. And if you're watching on Verdict, if I managed to get this on Verdict, thanks for watching. And actually, even if you aren't, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Yeah, we'll be back next week. We'll see if I survive the tournament. We got Hernandez versus Pereira in the Apex once again, but after that we got fucking 308. All right, yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening. I'll see you all next week.